So in the last videos, we have put under the microscope both the Tengu and the Exile to try and understand their past and analyze the events that led them down the path of revenge and bring their boiling hatred for the enemy to fruition. The third and final port's adventurer that falls into our lap looking for assistance is the Memory. With a skill requirement of 90 divination, she can be seen coming into port on a small boat, skimming across the calm and quiet waters, paddling softly under the cover of the fading light. As she dismounts onto the pier and is greeted by the staff to help her store what little provisions she carried, a sudden screech from a nearby crewman atop their ship's crow's nest rings out. Pirates! Slicing through the mist, a little bit further out at sea, the bow of a sturdy ship can be seen coming into view. Dawning high above its mast flaps the toothless grin of a skull on its black flag, with gritty, savage men ready with their cutlasses to raid the port. The player runs out of the office shouting orders, "You there, ready our cannons," as officers scurry to their positions. A big battle ensues for the defense of the port, and with a great deal of coordination, effort, communication, and sheer force of will, the pirates were defeated. The Memory begins to thank the player for clearing the threat and explains that she is a colony of Wisp, Guthix's strongest memories, coalesced into his daughter Auggie. She states that this is why the diviner Kakashi was after her in the first place, but the player reassures her that she is safe now in their port. Over the next few days, the player continually checks up on Auggie, though she seems incredibly hysterical, cracking divination jokes like, "Keep it together," quite literally, and "I could explode into wisps or butterflies at any moment." Clearly, she was trying to hide the fact that she was feeling something, so the player calls her out on it. She admits to feeling the insatiable pull of the divination creator energy rifts, and can't help but want to throw herself in, as she is made of divine energy. The player then offers to set her up on a voyage, as there are no craters far off in the eastern lands. As Auggie is still feeling the urge to launch herself into the craters, the player informs her that she'll be tagging along on the next mission, a journey out to the fist marks of Genma in the Hook region, as one of his captains feels a strange presence there. She needed to put distance between herself and the divination rifts, as well as Kakashi, who was still on her tail, so this was the perfect opportunity. Upon returning, Auggie was ecstatic in the fact that the player was right about the fist marks of Genma having a strange energy, as apparently a mysterious entity is believed by some to have created this eponymous island, due to the knuckle-shaped depressions covering its entire surface. The Memory, who is composed of anima and the memories of a dead god, had a few comments regarding this entity and of it being of similar nature to herself. The comments read,
"There is an energy at the fist marks, and it felt strangely familiar. Whatever Genma was, I think it was a bit like me.
And
I've been having dreams about Genma. He feels strong. I wish I were as strong as him. Not that I even know what he looks like. My mind makes things up when I dream. He might not even be a he."
Just as a side note, in a separate joint voyage between the Memory and the Occultist investigates the energies on the island and believes there may be a connection to living rock creatures. Genma may have been a colossi of the First Age, a huge creature with massively big swells of infused anima that may have been in the same ilk of something akin to Virago, which would incorporate both of those theories, although we may never know. Back at port, the Memory also comments how some of the Siren she met there called her Kami in a song, to which she really took a liking to, and thus will be used moving forward. On the next voyage, the player arranges Kami to visit the Scythe region, the place where Surella's family resides, the barmaid of the port. Cirilla and her family are sea orphans, a term described for those with the unknown affliction that gives a human certain features of fishes or other sea creatures, like gills, tentacles, and even flippers. When Kami returned to port, she says she felt a surge of something when they arrived. One of the captains told her that there are many sea creatures in the area, and she says that they must have a strong connection to the anima mundi, as she could feel a great sadness within them. The player expresses their sympathies, and she agrees with the sentiment and wants to stop whatever is hurting these sea creatures. Having found out that Kakashi knows that the player is harboring Kami in their port, he explains to her their plan to lure him out, although she needs to act as the bait. She agrees, telling them that feeling the sea creature's suffering has helped her understand what she needs to do, and the player reassures her that it will be only their best captains and a few Death Lotus assassins to ensure her safety and survival. Kami expresses that she only wants to scare Kakashi off instead of killing him, and so they go to the glitter caves in the Bowl region and start spreading rumors that she is going to be there. Upon Kami's return to port, she explains that it worked and Kakashi took the bait. During the exchange, Kakashi swore to leave Kami alone, as the Death Lotus assassin handed him a red cloth, saying that should she die, his fate would soon follow. Kakashi acted like Kami wasn't what he was after anymore, but she quickly disregarded that statement. Back at port, Kami comes to the player, expressing that she had a horrible vision when she slept. That she was a sea creature, swimming in the pincers region or paradise, in a happy pod of others of her kind. She then heard a voice that commanded her to do awful, awful things. She lost control of herself and did those awful things, and a ball of light fell into the water and exploded. She claims it wasn't a dream, but a memory, and the sea creatures are scared of the ball of light. Her final voyage sees Kami taking to paradise to connect with the sea creatures and to help them. When she finally returns, Kami is utterly distraught and explains how she thought that the sea creatures had been able to run aground on the reef at first to get away from the explosion, only to find miles and miles of corpses floating in the waves. She believes someone had massacred them and swears to find out who. In the final video of this miniseries, see what happens in the conclusion as the Tengu, the Exile, and the Memory prepare to confront the ultimate risk. Thank you to my reader, Ashshley, for reading the quotes from the Memory, and I will see you guys in the last video. Runescape. Forever.